Hi, I'm Amelia, founder of Social Climber, and I'm documenting my attempt to take my marketing agency from 6 figures to 7. You'll get the highs, the lows, and the mildly unhinged reality of building a business from the ground up. So if you fancy watching me either glow up or completely combust, hit subscribe. Right, let's get into what happened this week. So this week started a little bit differently than usual, and that is because a client of mine, the one that I have just started podcasting with, asked me if I wanted to be a guest on the podcast, which obviously I jumped at the opportunity. So I headed over there first thing on Monday morning and got everything set up. We filmed a few other videos beforehand. They needed some things for their LinkedIn profiles to promote event attendance, and also some podcast intros to just say, we've got this guest coming up, blah, 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 stay tuned, etc. So once everything was set up and once those were filmed, it was time for me to sit down with the host and the owner of the business. And we just chatted for ages. And to be honest, I could have chatted a lot longer, which is a problem if I'm going to do more podcasts, so I should probably work on that. But it was just a really nice conversation. We spoke about being a woman in business, my plans for Social Climber, the power of personal branding, etc. And yeah, so that was really, really good. And the episode has actually had to be split into 2 because we were chatting for so long, and they're going live this week, the week that I'm talking to you. So on Thursday morning and Friday morning, we're going to put it live. So I'm excited for that to go out.
Straight over to you, Amelia. How are you feeling?
Brilliant. Yeah, I'm all good. Thank you very much. Good. This is my first time on a podcast. I was on a radio show the other day, but obviously you listened to that.
Yep.
Which was kind of like a podcast, but a little bit different. It was 9 p.m. at night, a bit more relaxed. Now I'm in an office environment. When I'm behind the cameras, wherever you are, I feel a lot more comfortable, but now I'm here, I'm like, okay, actually it is a bit difficult.
You'll be absolutely fine.
Thank you.
You will be pleased to know that was your audition when you did that. And
yes.
You passed with flying colours. And I was like, Amelia, I need to get you on this podcast.
Amazing. On Tuesday, I spent all day in the office, so there wasn't really too much to report, so I didn't actually film anything, so apologies for that. And then on Wednesday, I headed over to Padel networking, which I am going to chat a little bit more about in a minute. Hello, so I've just finished the Padel networking, as you would have seen and heard, and after that I had a meeting with the owners of the networking group, as they wanted some advice on their marketing, what they're currently doing, what I think that they should be doing. So we had a little chat about that, and then they've also approached me about being an ambassador for this particular location for the networking group, which I have once again had a chat with them about and seen the pros and the cons and stuff like that, and I'm going to give it a go and see what happens, see how it is. But I think that anything that helps me to meet more people, get introduced to more people, this networking group, I've been a handful of times and I've made more connections here than I've done at any networking group. I don't believe in networking groups, so it's nice to have something where I can go and obviously play paddle for a couple of hours, but also meet people that are actually of interest rather than just the same people over and over again. So as my role as an ambassador, I obviously have to try and get more people to go to this location. So I'll basically just be plugging it a little bit more on my socials and stuff like that, and try and get the numbers up. That is the game plan, and the next one is every month, once a month. So I've got 4 weeks essentially now to try and push the next event for May, and try and get as many people there as possible. So I'm looking forward to it. It was a good chat. It's nice to be offered, these opportunities, whether big, small, free, paid for, whatever. It's just nice to be thought of. So yeah, I am looking forward to it, and I will catch up with you a little bit later on. In the afternoon, I had a client meeting to just go through some bits and bobs. We were filming with them the week after, so it was just a bit of a prep plan with everyone that was involved, just to make sure that we were all on the same page. And then I spent the rest of the day editing last week's vlog, as it was obviously Wednesday and I wanted to get it live. I think I got it live by the end of that day, so it was just tidying everything up to make sure that it was ready for publish. I tell you what, I am bloody knackered. I've just got back from a 3 or 4 hour meeting with a client of ours. It was actually a really good meeting, and I'm not going to go into too much detail just because they're another client that I can't really talk about, but I want to talk about the learnings that I found with this client, because way back in the day, not even that long ago, but there is a vlog called something like When It All Goes Wrong, and the client that I'm actually talking about is this client, and this is, I'm going to have to look at when I posted it, so bear with. Right, so I posted it 6 months ago, and the client is still here, and dare I say happier than ever. And it just goes to show that in that video, I remember feeling so stressed, so sad that this client was going to be going. A, because I love working with them, but B, it's also, I think when any client goes, unless you hate working with them, it is sad and you sort of take it personally, which I've spoken about before. I need to get rid of that because that's going to come back to haunt me at some point. But at the time, yeah, I remember being really, really upset about it, but I was like, we can change it, we can turn it around. And guess what? We have. And I think that the learnings from that is to never think that you're always right. If things aren't working that you've proposed, don't be afraid to say, these aren't working. I thought they were going to work, but they haven't. And this is what I think we should do instead. It's easy to sort of, when you've created a bit of strategy, or when you think this is exactly what this client needs and it just doesn't hit, that you think that they're going to blame you by saying things have gone wrong. But actually, if you just say, let's stop this here and regroup and do this instead, they're actually going to value your opinion a lot better and trust you a lot more with the work that you're doing. Another learning that I've had from this client is literally within the past week, there has been a new hire, and within their company, they now have a marketing director, marketing manager that is going to be our main point of contact. And that will change a lot, because right now we're trying to deal with the owner of the company and the sales guys of the company, and they're really great to work with. But the problem is that when event season pops up, for example, they're here, there and everywhere, and you don't get the sign-off, you don't get the corporate strategy, which then filters down to your marketing tactics. So it's like you've got to have someone on the inside to work with so that they can lead the way from an internal point of view, and then you can work alongside them with the actual tactics and the delivery. So having this person here now, I'm just absolutely buzzing for. Like I said, it was a really good meeting, a really productive meeting, and I'm just excited to continue working with them. So it's actually our year working together anniversary this month. I think it's literally about this time, which it's like mid-April. So yeah, that was kind of the overview, because I'm not going to bore you with the rest of the details of what the meeting, but I just thought it'd be good to highlight some of the learnings, because linking back to having that middle person, we've got another client that we work with who we do the same thing, and they're the easiest client to work with, and we get the most done for them with the better results as well. So I think that going into any new business meetings, I want to make sure that there's that middle person there, and not be afraid to potentially ask for it if things aren't going well. I remember my previous boss would go into meetings and say, do you have this person? You need to hire someone. And they would do it, and it would end up working better. So that's kind of what I've learned from this week. I've also had another call with my problem client. I'm still yet to name them because I'm still holding out hope, but they are just, I don't know. So that's why I'm a little bit, I left the meeting and I was high and happy, and then I had a call from the problem client, and now I'm kind of like, for God's sake. But it is the end of the day. I have got band rehearsals now, literally in an hour. So I'm going to pick myself up and head off to that. So I will see you in the morning. On Friday, I had my first tempo session since running the half marathon, and I found it horrendous, if I'm honest. I don't know, I'm using an app or a program at the moment, and I plugged in all my current 10k PBs because that's what I'm trying to optimize for at the moment, is trying to beat my 10k, and they just sent me off on a really fast tempo. So I found it really, really difficult. It was a good session, but I just found it really difficult. And I try not to let those runs stay with me too much because it knocks morale. However, I haven't been on a run since, so I think it might have done, but I'm going to get back into it. I promised myself that, and keep it going and keep the momentum going, because I'm feeling, or I was feeling, really good about running after the half marathon, and I want to keep that going, especially now we're into the summer months. I can start training in the morning, and it's just a bit nicer to run outside. So in the afternoon, I headed into London just for an appointment. I didn't really film that much apart from some station shots, so enjoy. But all that's left to say is thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.